Good evening and welcome to CSEC Biology Live. I am not certain what happened just now. I was just streaming and I realized that the numbers were falling. I realized that it is open-ended. I can't close what I was using. I had to just send out a new link. I am very, very sorry. I have no control over what happened earlier. Anyhow, that being said, we're going to jump right into the lesson. We had a couple of persons here. I think I had about 8 persons here, and I blab blab blab, and actually was pretty much right at the start of the lesson. I do hope that the link that is out there will not be giving persons any problem because I was unable to stop to end the stream, and it is probably still running. So they might say to stream for today. I do hope that persons will be able to find the right stream. So yes, this is CSEC Biology, the cover page. This is Mr. Wilson with CSEC Human and Social Biology and Biology Live. And we are streaming from Kingston, Jamaica in the Caribbean. We are on air on a Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 5:05. You can also visit our channel to watch our mini videos. Of course, we have a whole lot of past paper there, and we continue to put past paper so that students can practice as many past papers as is possible before the exam. We did promise 2016 multiple choice HSB paper. We have been trying since morning. Like today is the day. I have actually loaded 5 times and loaded it 5 times. And of course, to this minute, I still don't have a completed copy. I voice it 5 times. The voice is not going with the video. What does that mean? I really don't know. Probably it's my system is a little age. I don't know. But of course, the technology is getting the better of us. But we're going to overcome. You're going to be seeing the 2016 this evening. You won't hear my voice, but of course, the questions are answered. I will do another video at a later date and add my voice to it for those persons who would prefer to hear the explanation or how I arrived at the answers. So without further ado, let's jump right into the lesson. Who do we have with me now? With us now? Do we have our friends from there? Is Jawawan back with us? Is Shakila back with us? Amanda Andrews, good night. Amanda, remind me where you're from. Just sign in for me. Sign in so I know the persons who are here. Just sign your, just say hi, good night, and you'll sign in. And then for most cases, I'll know where you're from because I tend to know my students. Amanda Andrews, oh, from St. Vincent. Good evening. How are you? Welcome to the show. Tell me as well, when are you doing, which of the exam are you doing? Are you doing bio or HSB? HSB. Kevin Mackenzie, good evening. Kevin is from Jamaica and he's doing biology. So Amanda Andrews, you're from St. Vincent. Which of the subjects are you doing? Are you doing biology or HSB? And when are you doing this subject? Okay, you're doing biology. Wonderful. When will you be doing biology? This year, next year, January, May, June? Good evening, Macmillan. Macmillan is from St. Vincent as well. So Andrews and Macmillan is from St. Vincent. And here my friends are joining now from there. Okay, you're going to be doing it May. It's about some May 17 or 3rd thereabout, which tells us that the exam is like 2 months away. Beautiful. All right, very good. You see, Kevon, I'm happy that you are in the room. We had this discussion today. You observe Andrews can tell you when is the exam. You realize that? I asked a group of students today, when is the exam? They had no idea. I asked Amanda the same question, and Amanda can tell me that her exam will be May. All right, that's good though. We need to know when we're going to have the exam so that we can be prepared. I wanted to talk to those persons who will be doing. Just let me check again. Macmillan, which other exam are you doing? Bio or HSB, and when are you doing the exam? Let us get these out of the way. Jawawan was here with us earlier from Trinidad, but we had some issues with the connection. It just went dead. and we were not able to explain, we were not able to reconnect. So we might have another live out there going, but I can't access the live. All right. So Macmillan is doing HSB. When are you doing the HSB, Macmillan? So Macmillan and Andrews, they are from St. Vincent. When are you doing the HSB? Just remind me, please. All right, for those who are watching in distant land, this is a real class. The students can see me. I am not able to see them, but I do know the students. So of course we have a conversation from time to time. So it's a class, it's a regular class. Of course, I'm not using a board because the students are using a basal reader of their liking. And of course, I just say the topic and they will follow. If you have not yet liked, share, or subscribe, please ensure that you do so now. All right? You being a part of the family is very, very important. All right, so I had a long lineup planned for you today, but like I said, I had issues and issues and issues with the HSB. Macmillan, you will be getting the 2016 this evening, but it will not have my voice on it. I explained why it will not have my voice on it, but I will do another video before May that you will be able to hear my voice. So having gotten the 2016, you would have had all the papers from 2015 to 2020 answered, except for 2018. If there's anybody there with a copy of the 2018 HSB paper, please send it to my email. You can just go to the channel, look at the email address, and send that paper to me. I am also working on the HSB paper as is requested, so those will be coming your way in short order. We have been working on respiration. We looked at the breathing system, as I love to call it, just the other day. And we're going to be looking at gaseous exchange in plants, and particularly the parts of the plants that is, of course, carrying out photosynthesis. Then we are going to be looking at the part of a plant that is not carrying out photosynthesis, and we are going to be continuing along that path. Thanks, sir. I'm waiting on paper 2. All right, not a problem. Paper 2 will come your way. Let me hope that you have actually looked at the other multiple choice papers that we have posted so far, that we have on the channel so far. All right, so having looked at that, we are then going to be looking at the effect of cigarette smoking. And then I am going to go to the 2016 paper that has been giving some trouble for quite some time. I'll be asking you some questions. I'll be going through the paper with you online. You will not be able to see the paper, but I'll be able to read the questions for you, and you'll be able to answer the questions. Like I said, I'm going to be doing my best to ensure that the paper get to you this evening. Ransom, good evening. It's good to see you, a new member of the family. Ransom, are you Jamaican? I know I spoke to you via comments, but I don't know I've ever spoken to you other than that. And just remind me which of the subject you're doing. I am not. Where are you from, Ransom? You don't need to give the detail as to the Caribbean island. That's all you need to say. The Caribbean island, and tell me which of the subject you'll be doing, and of course, when you'll be doing the subject. Let me just plan carefully as to how I prepare you guys for the subject. Oh, you're Trinidad, so you're with Jawawan from Trinidad. Sir, still here. All right, thanks much, Treasure. I know you guys were here earlier and you got kicked off. You are doing both, so you are doing both HSB and biology. Beautiful. Well, we're offering both bio and HSB here, and you would have observed that the videos and the lessons that we do, we try to cover both. I'm doing both HSB and biology. Beautiful. All right, let's just dive right into gaseous exchange. There is a lab for this, but it is not really required by CXC, but of course you need to know it. So I'm going to be just telling you a little bit about gaseous exchange in those parts of the plant that carry out photosynthesis. Now, it's very important to note that photosynthesis and respiration, they are like the reverse of each other, right? I am not saying that in respiration it makes food, it releases energy, while photosynthesis would make the food. all right, because it's able to convert that sunlight. Now, another thing that we need to remember this evening is that respiration is a continuous process. It's always taking place. Respiration is always taking place. Whether it's an animal and the animal is asleep or awake, respiration is always taking place. Now, if it's a plant, so too, respiration is always taking place. Now, the truth is, photosynthesis is not always taking place. Now, we have seen on both biology paper and the human and social biology paper where the question is being asked, why is it not safe to have a plant in your bedroom at night? Now, it is this topic that helps us to answer that question and answer the question effectively. So we're going to be looking at that right now. And at the end of this presentation, I'm sure that you won't have to even study when I'm finished the presentation today. It's Yengers. Remember, this is Yengers country. Once we have a class, we have Yengers. All right. So we're going to be talking about gaseous exchange in the parts of a plant that carry out photosynthesis. And then we're going to be looking at that part of a plant that does not carry out photosynthesis. All right. Dalet, Darleti. All right, Darleti, just tell me where you're from, which island you're from, and whether you are doing bio or HSB. So let's dive right into it. So we want to look at the plant, and these are some things that we're going to be taking in consideration. We are going to be taking, okay, she's my friend, beautiful. We are going to be taking in consideration oxygen and carbon dioxide. We're also going to be taking in consideration night, morning, midday, and in the evening. Beautiful. So I want you now to just bring to your mind, or if you can look outside and see any plant, that would be a good place to start with the class. So we want to now think about plants and how they operate. Now, a plant during the night, if it is dark, will not carry out photosynthesis. However, if a plant is in a controlled environment where there is light, the plant will be able to carry out photosynthesis. Now, the question will be asked, so why is it that the formula for photosynthesis is saying plants carry out photosynthesis with the conditioned sunlight? The truth is, why it is said like that? Because it is thought that all energy came from the sun. So whatever energy you're using, ultimately it is driven by the sun. So for that reason, it is said that the energy comes from the sun for photosynthesis. However, when it is dark, the plant will not carry out photosynthesis. Now, look what is happening here. During photosynthesis, what is given off? Oxygen or carbon dioxide? Type it in the chat for me. You know it's always going to be an interactive session. You have to be a part of the lesson. So now we are looking at photosynthesis, and we want to find out what is given off during photosynthesis. All right. So Darla T, she's saying that it is oxygen. Is there any other response? You respond, don't listen to what other persons say. The question is, during photosynthesis, what gas is given off? Oxygen, oxygen, Darlet. Oh, it's Darlet. Okay, thank you very much. Darlet. All right. So you're not laughing at me. Please don't laugh at me. Please don't laugh at me. Please don't laugh at me. All right. So it is Darlet. Pronunciation. Oh yes, Darlet. All right. And I am Ricardus. I'm sorry, I didn't spell it for you. All right. Lol, nice, good. Andrews from St. Vincent is saying carbon dioxide. No, not laughing at you. All right, beautiful. All right, so carbon dioxide, the question is, and I'll repeat. The question is, and I'll repeat. Photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, what gas is given off? Given off comes from the plant to the atmosphere. So we all will agree that it is oxygen that is given off. Now, during respiration, what gas is given off? During respiration, just tell me here what gas is given off. All right. We need to have these respiration and photosynthesis are equations that you must know in order to get into the exam. All right. Very good. All right. Beautiful. Carbon dioxide is given off during respiration. All right, very good. Because we're having a log in the system, when you answer the question, it would be nice if you say photosynthesis, then oxygen, respiration, and carbon dioxide, because there are some answers that will reach me pretty late, and I might not understand what you're doing. All right, so let us go again. So I started out talking about night. So we're saying that during the night, the plant is not carrying out photosynthesis unless there is light. So what will happen is that oxygen will enter the plant, and the oxygen is entering the plant for which of the process? Which of the process is going to use the oxygen? Type in the chat there for me. Let me see how much you've been reading. Which of the process? Will it be photosynthesis that will be using the oxygen, or will it be the respiration that will be using the oxygen? Tell me in the chat there. Respiration will be using the oxygen, says dialect. Using which oxygen? During the night, that oxygen that will be taken in by the plant, I'm trying to find out which of the process will be using the oxygen. Will it be photosynthesis or will it be respiration? Many persons are saying that it is respiration that will be using the oxygen. So we want to hear from everyone. We want everybody to understand where we're coming from. All right, so I continue. So at nights, like I have been saying, photosynthesis is not taking place once it's dark. However, respiration is always taking place. So this is what is happening during the night. During the night, this is what is happening. You have that plant in your house, nice flowering plant or nice indoor plant. The plant is competing with you for the available oxygen. And while the plant is competing with you for the available oxygen, the plant is also giving off carbon dioxide. Now, at this point, the plant is not giving off oxygen because photosynthesis is not taking place in the dark. So what you find happening is that there will be reduced oxygen in your room and, of course, more carbon dioxide. So that is the reason for you not to have a plant in your bedroom during the night, unless the windows are open, or as the limited oxygen that is in that space will be shared for you and, of course, the plant. So we look there at night. So now it's morning, or what we refer to as dawn. So at this point, as the sun continues to rise, what is going to happen is that the rate of photosynthesis is going to increase. It's going to gradually increase until it gets to a point we refer to as the compensation point, where the rate of photosynthesis is equal to the rate of respiration. When this happens, what will happen with the gases is that there will be no net movement of oxygen or carbon dioxide at that time. It is pretty much like they will be having a handshake and everything will be pretty much in the plant. Hi, Tanisha, how you doing? Tanisha is out of Guyana. So as the sun continues to rise, then we are going to be moving away from the compensation point. As we move away from the compensation point, the rate of photosynthesis will increase. Now, as the rate of photosynthesis surpasses that of the respiration, then you understand that the plant now will be giving off oxygen. All right? Because the rate of photosynthesis exceeds the rate of respiration. So now we're going to be having more oxygen being given off. And that happens during the day. So as the oxygen is given off by the plant during the day, as the rate of photosynthesis increases, then what is going to happen to the carbon dioxide? Tell me in the chat there. Is sleeping in the forest during the night detrimental? Tanisha, I always like your question. Because the forest is not in a vacuum, then it could never be detrimental to sleep in the forest. But I don't even know if it is detrimental sleeping in a room with a plant. It's not a good idea. But remember that a forest is in an open space, and as a result, the gas is not skewed to the plant or skewed to you. So sleeping in a forest is definitely not going to be detrimental. As a cadet myself, I have slept in forests and I'm still alive. All right. So it's not going to be detrimental because you're not sleeping in a vacuum. The forest is not in a vacuum. But I like your question. It's a wonderful question. Wonderful question, Tanisha. And I like them when they come like that. All right. So I'm asking now, being that the rate of photosynthesis far surpass that of respiration, oxygen is given off by the plant. So tell me what will happen to carbon dioxide during that time. Darlet, you want to answer? Amoy, do you want to answer? Tanisha? I'm not going to put in my new, I won't be putting my new students on the spot as yet. I'm going to give them, I was a cadet too. Beautiful. And you would have slept in the forest from time to time. All right. So, oh no. No. Ransom, no. That's not what is going to happen. And I'm going to tell you why. If we said that the rate of photosynthesis would have increased, then remember the product of photosynthesis, the carbon dioxide release, plant absorb carbon dioxide. All right, beautiful, Amoy, that's the answer there. The product, the raw material of photosynthesis is always going to be carbon dioxide and water. So if we're having more oxygen being given off, then it's only natural during this time the plant is absorbing more carbon dioxide. Even though it will be using some carbon dioxide from the respiration, it will be still taking some carbon dioxide out of the air. I think that's the rate of carbon dioxide would be greater at night. I'm not too sure if you're following, but we spoke to that earlier. When you talk about the rate there now, Dalit, we're talking about, remember we said when we started out, we're talking about oxygen, carbon dioxide, photosynthesis, and respiration. We started out by talking about the direction. We were talking, establishing the direction of the move. So let us just try again. So this is the plant, my phone here in my hand. This is the plant. So during the night, what is going to happen? What will happen is that the plant will be taking in oxygen. So oxygen will be going into the plant. And of course, carbon dioxide will be coming out. That is during the night. During the day, it reverses where the plant is now taking in carbon dioxide and giving out oxygen. That's how we started. That's a summary of what I said. All right. So we also established where the carbon dioxide was coming from. We said that the carbon dioxide was coming from respiration, and that's the carbon dioxide being given off. Right? Now we are saying when the oxygen is being given off, the oxygen is coming from photosynthesis. All right. We made mention also of the compensation point. So we would have spoken already about what happens during the night, what happens during the morning, and of course, what happens during the day. We're going to be looking at the evening. Now, during the evening, the reaction is going to be similar to that of the morning, because now what is happening is that photosynthesis and respiration is going to reach that compensation point where there is no net movement of the gas. What it means is that the photosynthesis will be equivalent to that of the reaction will be equivalent to that of the that of respiration. I'm going to be just drawing a graph very, very quickly on a piece of paper, and I'll hold it up for you just to show you what is happening. And we are going to be looking at time of the day on the x-axis. So I'm going to be putting just time there, and you could put that in. And then we are going to put the rate of reaction here. So rate of reaction there. And then I'm going to be drawing using my marker. I'm going to be using my green marker to draw a line that will indicate the respiration. So the green line is for respiration, and I'm using a black line to represent the rate of photosynthesis. So we go up like that, and then we come down like that, and then we go out like that. All right. So I hope you can see. Just let me just fold it back here. And I probably should put some letters on it. That would better help. So we probably have A. We probably have probably B here, C there, and probably D there, and probably E here. All right. So here we have it. So I hope that you can see what I have here. Time is on the x-axis there, and you'd see photosynthesis, you'd see respiration represented by this green line. It is always happening. Now here you're looking at the rate of photosynthesis, and it is going up. And this point right at B is a compensation point. So this here could be in the morning, or it could be in the evening. So if you observe, there's a compensation point here, and there's a compensation point here. And in this area is the middle of the day where we're going to have that high level of photosynthesis. And then here it's going to be whether in the morning, or this is a dark time. If you observe, it falls on the x-axis right on the line, which means that 0 here, nothing is happening. And of course, the rate of respiration and of course photosynthesis is on the y-axis. Now you want to be able to interpret that graph if you were supposed to see it during the day. So just let me just give you a very quick quiz. I like to give a quick quiz at all time. So let us look at this graph, which is showing the rate of photosynthesis and respiration during the day, morning, evening, and night. So I want you, what is the green line for? The green line is for respiration. So the green line is for respiration, and a line that goes like this shows that there is a constant, right? You want me to interpret the graph for you? This is constant. It's pretty much like carrying capacity. It doesn't change, all right? So your friend is always telling a lie. So this green line here is for respiration. Constant, it doesn't change. You're always carrying out respiration. Then the black line that forms the bell curve, that is going to be photosynthesis. And what you find is that it goes right up to optimum right here, and then it falls off. Right up to optimum, and then it falls off, right? So what I want you to do, see if you can identify A. What is happening at A and E? What time of the day it is? Time of the day, and the time of the day would be night, morning, midday, evening. So at A and E, what do you think it is? A and E, what time of the day? A and E. Look at the graph carefully. A and E. A and E. Look, A and E is right here. try to interpret the graph. And let me just draw the black line at the bottom again. So if you observe, A and E is on the x-axis. All right, so you would observe, you would agree with me that where the x-axis intercepts the y-axis, that of course is going to be 0, right? So A and E is always going to be during the dark night. Macmillan is saying it there, night, and somebody else said dark. Darlet is saying also dark, because if you observe, photosynthesis is pretty much 0 when it hits the x-axis. Now, tell me about B and D. B and D, what time of the day is that? B and D. Look at B and D and tell me what time of the day it is. Come on, I want everybody to be participating, you know. B and D, I want you to tell me what time of the day it is. B and D. So when you write your answer, you're going to say B is whether night or day or morning or evening, and D is whether night or day or morning or evening. All right, so what is B? What is D? Tanisha, doesn't the curve represent the rate of respiration? No, the curve represents the rate of photosynthesis, while the straight line represents the respiration. Remember, let me help you with the interpretation here. Respiration is always happening, right, Tanisha? So you don't have a curve, you don't have a high point and a low point unless you're having exercise or some one of those strenuous activity. But here the comparison is between photosynthesis and respiration. So the straight line is going to be respiration, while the curve, of course, is going to be your photosynthesis. So B is going to be morning, and we could tell that B is morning, and we knew that because the graph is coming from 0, the start of the day. And we could say that D is evening because this is when the day is about to end. And we could know that based on what is happening with photosynthesis, and when it intercepts that respiration, the point of compensation. So we know that the point, these are 2 points we call points of compensation. And because we know that there are points of compensation, the point of compensation only come during the evening or during the morning. And that's early morning. All right. I do hope that we understand that. But if you don't, please let me know so we can revisit the content. No, it is not late in the morning. It's going to be early in the morning and late in the evening. Early in the morning and late in the evening. Now, we're going to continue. Good evening. Oh, this is a new friend. I am not too sure those names. Forgive me. The new persons, just tell us where you're from, which country. You don't need to tell us your district and all of that, and tell us whether you're doing HSB or biology, and of course, when you will be doing it, whether you will be doing it. But Scott, every time you come, you have a different name. Careful, mine ISIS looking for you, you know. Every evening you come, you have a different name. Keep bio. All right, so we are doing CSET bio here. Yes, that's Scott. All right, so we continue and we're going to be looking at, we spoke about the evening, what happens during the evening with photosynthesis and respiration. And we also spoke about what happens with carbon dioxide and, of course, oxygen. So we are going to be looking at what happened with non-photosynthesizing organs of the plant. Do they operate the same way as the parts of a plant that carry out photosynthesis? What is the answer here? Yes or no? Guys, persons who are new, please be reminded that we are very mindful of persons' emotion. So we try not to laugh unless you're laughing at me. All right. It doesn't matter what I say. We never use a laughing emoji unless it's directed at me. All right. Do you have a scheduled time for live? Yes, we do. We have a scheduled time for live. Ask the students. I'm not going to tell you. Guys, could you just type the scheduled time for the lives there for me? Yes, Miss Darlet. All right. Yes, we do. All right. So let's continue. So Non-photosynthesizing organ only carry out respiration. All right. So you're not going to find these organs carrying out photosynthesis because they would be like the root, the stem, and they really don't have that chloroplast or accessory pigment. Sorry, they don't have the accessory pigment or chlorophyll to be able to carry out photosynthesis. So they only carry out, of course, respiration. So these include, like I said, the root and stem. Hence, oxygen diffuses, of course, in, and carbon dioxide is going to diffuse out. So we have just looked at the photosynthesizing part of the plant and how it behaves with photosynthesis versus respiration. And we've also looked at what happens with a plant or the plant organ that does not carry out photosynthesis. It's very important for you to be able to make the difference. So we're going to summarize. I'm going to just ask some questions before we move on so as to ensure that everybody is pretty much on the same page. All right, so dear Rihanna Knight is telling you Wednesdays, Fridays, Sunday at 5:05. Right? So you are on by 5 and I am on by 5:05. All right. So, and that's a constant thing. Probably the only thing that is constant for most of the things that I do. I've never gotten this wrong. All right. So at least I'm learning to get things right. Living. I'm just kidding there. We have also looked at a graph that compares respiration and, of course, photosynthesis. So we started out by looking at what happens during the night, and we took in consideration both respiration and photosynthesis. We took in consideration the movement of oxygen versus the movement of carbon dioxide. We said that respiration is taking place at all times. However, during the night, the rate of respiration is much higher than that of photosynthesis. Now, because the rate of respiration is higher during the night than photosynthesis, what is happening is that the plant is giving off more carbon dioxide during the night and taking in the oxygen that is being used by you or should have been used by you. Now, Tanisha asked a wonderful question. The question was, if you were supposed to be sleeping in a forest, would that be detrimental to you? And the answer there was a straight no, because the forest is not in a vacuum. All right. Now, if the forest were to be in a vacuum and you were supposed to be in a vacuum, then I can tell you exactly what would have happened to you. There is a respiration experiment that deals with a rat and a candle and a gas jar. And when when the rat and the candle is under the gas jar and versus when the rat is removed, you can look for that experiment online and see what happens. And it would nicely explain that which Tanisha asked earlier. All right. So we also looked at what happens during the morning, what happens during the evening, and of course, what happens during the night. So we look at night, morning, day, evening, and again, night. I do hope that we understand that which was said. We also look at the non-photosynthesizing part of a plant, and we said that that part will not be carrying out photosynthesis. As such, that part of the plant will be taking in oxygen and, of course, will be giving off carbon dioxide. And we looked at a graph, and that graph is a nice graph. If you remember how to draw that graph, it's a bell curve with a straight line, like the line for carrying capacity, goes through the graph, and where those intercept the photosynthesis curve is called the point of compensation. All right, so enough said on that. That would have taken us to the end of what we were supposed to have done on respiration over there. We are going to be looking now at the effect of cigarette smoking. Usually when I teach this lesson, I usually have some real graphic videos to show the students about the effect of cigarette smoking, because of course, I do believe that it has debilitating effects on the persons who use this product. I'm going to be asking you, sorry, my epiglottis wasn't working well just now. So you see what's happening? Reflex action. I have to be coughing, and probably you can tell me why I'm coughing, because you know what happened there. All right. So the epiglottis was working as it should just now. So I want you to tell me in the chat there, what are some of your experiences with persons who have smoked, whether it be good or bad. What are your views? What are some of the graphic images you would have seen in your locality, or in your local, or in your social media space, or wherever? Just tell me in the chat. If you have none to share, that's fine. It gives you bad liver. Can you speak of that, or that is just literature? I'm not in for the literature right now. I want the stories. All right. So you see a person who smoke and the teeth is probably yellow, or the person lost a teeth, or the hands become very hard, or the face look very old, that type of thing. Or you know somebody who have had cancer, that type of thing. Darkened lip, that is the type of thing I'm looking for. Persons who smoke, they tend to have darkened lip, as the lips, the cells here become thicker, so as to protect the organism, because you're putting fire there on this. All right. So persistent coughing. You have seen persons coughing because they are smokers, and you have seen persons with problems with the gum coughing. You've seen persons who are addicted. In Jamaica, we have a lot of persons who are addicted to marijuana, and of course, we have some who are addicted to cigarette, and we have burn. You've seen somebody with burned stick lungs. Tanisha, tell me about that lungs thing. You've seen that? Hi, Dijane. I realize that you guys come and you leave very quickly. Not too sure what's happening with you and your service, but you want to be here. If you're not here, make sure that you watch the videos. All right. So all of these are some of the effects of cigarette smoking. And in most cases, persons are looking at you and they're saying that, hey, you're a smoker because your lip is black, or probably your teeth is discolored. So those are some of the first things that we can look at as a non-pro to say that this person is smoking. And probably the breath is not so good, or because the person is smoking. When they come beside you, if they touch you, the hand is all tainted with whatever they are smoking, and the breath is pretty much the same. And in some cases, it's so bad that it even affects the eye and the whole skin on the face. All right, so smoking contains cigarette contains, we could say, what are some of the things that we can find in cigarette that are not good? Tell me about 3 things that would find in cigarette that is not good. It's not good for your health. All right, so we could think about the tar. What else? All right, tar from Amai. Nicotine. Anything else? Anything else? We have been talking about this one when we talk about pollution. Nicotine, tar, yes. Continue. I'm with you. Mercury. Really? I didn't know that, but I won't rule it out. Mercury. Heavy metal. Oh my. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes. Formaldehyde. Yes, that is true. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. That's true. All right. Good. So we have a whole lot of stuff there to look on. And of course, you are going to see online, smoke, and it's a cigarette, sorry, and it's been broken down in different parts, and it will tell you what is in whatever part. Sometimes it is sort of traces of these components. If you observe even on the cigarette, you'll observe that they are saying that it has arsenic, which is poison. All right. So for the syllabus, we're supposed to be looking at nicotine, we're supposed to be looking at tar, and we're supposed to be looking at carbon monoxide. So we are going to be zeroing in on these. And of course, as we zero in on these, we are going to look at the many other effects that are associated with the smoking of cigarette. Of course, I'm going to be needing your help to tell me all about it as we go through the lesson. Okay, so all of those, the tar, the nicotine, the carbon monoxide, all these are bad for you. Now, I have looked at about 5 years or 6 years past paper for HSB, and on every one of these paper, there is a question on nicotine. For all of the paper I have seen, there is a question for nicotine, and of course, in some cases, there is a question for carbon monoxide. I'm sure that carbon monoxide is on 2016. So that question that is on the paper, you have looked at my past papers, so I'm sure that you know what was asked about nicotine. So let me just start by asking you to tell me a little bit about nicotine. What is so bad about nicotine from the smoking of cigarette? Type in the chat there for me what's bad. So remember that your takeaway, the things for the syllabus or from the syllabus is going to be nicotine, tar, and carbon monoxide. And we're going to be looking at these as I listen to you. All right. So person start responding, and I like that. That's what we do here. Everybody comes to the class with a textbook, with blank paper. From time to time, I might say something more than you know, or you might say something more than I know, and we need to make documentation. So the very first thing we can think about nicotine is that it is addictive, right? It is a nicotine in the cigarette that causes persons to be so addicted to the cigarette. So persons, they have one cigarette now and they have another one and they have another one and another one and another one. And of course, once you think about nicotine, think about addiction. So you see somebody smoking the cigarette, as you study for your exam, you just look and say, whoa, look at what nicotine is doing, man, from one cigarette to another. Then we can think about it increases the heart rate. That is true. It can also increase the blood pressure. So it increases the heart rate, it increases the blood pressure. Uh, it also causes coronary artery constriction. All right, and we're going to be talking more about that. Come on, what else is to be said? Continue typing, guys. That's not all. Tell me all you know about nicotine. So we know that nicotine is addictive. We know that it reduces the appetite. So once person starts smoking, I don't want anything to eat. I'm good. And then they start to lose weight, right? We know that it is toxic. All right. So slowly you're killing yourself. We say that it is addictive. And we also know that it increases the heart rate. Another thing is that we know that will derive as a result of nicotine is that one might end up having a stroke. Because if you increase the heart rate and you're having any blockage in these blood vessels, then eventually the blood vessels will rupture and you will definitely end up with a stroke if it happens in the head. Now, another thing is that you could have high blood pressure as a result of nicotine. And high blood pressure with the heart beating much faster, the rate of the heart, then it's equivalent, like we said, to high blood pressure. Nicotine also narrow the vessel that carries the blood. Beautiful constriction there. All right. So there's this word that I want you to look at. It is osteoporosis. I want you to write that word down and tell me what it means. Osteoporosis. 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 What does it mean? It is, of course, associated with the nicotine from the cigarette. So we can conclude bending on bones. What are you answering, Tanisha? Remember, we answer our question. Bending of bones. Tell me, osteoporosis. Tell us what you're answering. Remember, other persons want to learn from you. All right. So as we listen for the answer for osteoporosis, I will just recap some of the things that you have said about nicotine. You said that nicotine causes persons to become addicted to this whole idea of smoking. You also said that they become so addicted that it reduces their appetite and they don't want to eat. So when they don't want to eat, then eventually they are going to lose body mass. You also said that it increases the heart rate and could lead to strokes and, of course, high blood pressure. Now, you're supposed to tell me there, Tanisha started out, you're supposed to tell me about osteoporosis. Osteoporosis. So as we do the research for osteoporosis, uh, is a bone disease. Now, there are many bone diseases, so you're not going to be answering your exam questions so open. You're going to be saying exactly what the bone disease does. So Tanisha is saying that osteoporosis, bones weaken and they become bend. Osteoporosis is a bone disease that occurs when the body loses too much bone. Kevon, you want to fix that we have a better appreciation of it. Remember, you are teaching us. Every time you answer a question in this class, you are not sending something to me, you're actually teaching your classmates. All right? It is called cooperative learning. All right? Dejanay White, osteoporosis is a bone disease that occurs when the body loses too much bone. All right, this is what you call plagiarism because both persons went to the same website and they just copy the exact thing and paste it. Can you imagine if I was marking this as an IA? You see what would happen? Nobody tried to summarize what they found. And as a result, before you know it, the two-person post the exact thing. We don't want that to happen. That is what we call academic fraud or plagiarism. All right. So let me see what's happening here again. So Dejanay White and Kevon Mackenzie, go back to the drawing board. Your answer won't even be accepted. That is wrong, that which you did just now. If you are going to be using somebody's work like that, you have to cite the work or you're going to put it in your own words. What do you understand from what you read? Osteoporosis is a health condition that weakens the bone. Among Lawrence, osteoporosis is a weakness of a bone, making them brittle and prone to break. Now, these are some wonderful responses, and I'm also looking at how you respond to see if you are grabbing person's information without thinking about what you're writing. I'm looking for a lot of things when you respond. I'm training you for the exam. I'm training you guys for university. So I have to be looking for everything. I'm sorry. All right. Osteoporosis is the brittle, fragile bone caused by lack in calcium. All right, that's one of the things that would cause it, making them fragile, more likely to break. Beautiful. A lot of nice things coming here. Osteoporosis is the forming of brittle, fragile bone caused by a lack of calcium. So that's one thing that would cause the bone. All right, very good. I think everybody did something well. Even Dejanay and Kevon that I just rushed a while ago, I just rushed them because I wanted everybody to look at what you should not do. Because remember, this class is about what you should and should not do, because this is a place for learning. If you have not yet liked, share, and subscribe, it might just be time for you to do so now. All right. So lack of vitamin D2. And of course, vitamin D is one of those nutrients that we can get from food, and also it can be activated by the sun. We want to remember that at all time. Vitamin D is this versatile vitamin that we can get from food, and we can also get it from the sun. We're seeing that question being asked on the exam paper. Beautiful, guys. You have been doing wonderful so far. I don't know if you want to go and get yourself a cup of water, or if you have a cup of water now, you want to take a sip of the water and probably just stretch your hands to the left, to the right, that type of thing, so that we get ready to move on. We have a lot more a whole lot of other stuff to do. Osteoporosis, bones have lost density or mass and also contain abnormal tissue structure. All right, so Dijane, so you've said a lot there, but what is the whole effect of osteoporosis? And I'm happy that you went back to the drawing board and pull it and didn't give up. Those are the type of students I'm looking for. Shakila Lewis, osteoporosis is a bone disease that occurs when the body loses two. Lord have mercy. All right, cool. Now we don't do 5 minutes break. It's pretty much like the army. We have working lunch, working everything. So you have to get yourself some water. You stretch and all of that, and you come back while I just talk a little things, and you make your way back. So those persons who are going to be drinking some water, you are going to come back, and we're going to be talking about tar and carbon monoxide. But while you go, yes, we don't have break time. We don't. We have working this and working that. You have to prepare and get your water close to you. And that is why this is such a beautiful class. We only have persons here who want to be here and they understand that it's a whole lot of work. All right. So as soon as you come in, it will be all nice to you. So as you go and get your water, I will go on over to my 2016 paper that I've been talking about for so long. And I'm going to be asking about 5 questions from the paper for those persons who want to stay until the others get the water and come back. Somebody said 5 minutes break. So it's going to be 5 minutes from now. It's going to be 6:37. But in that 5 minutes break, before we get tar, we're going to be looking at 5 questions from the Human and Social Biology paper 2016. Question 1 reads, and I'll tell you, well, I really can't tell you about this. Yes, I can tell you. I can tell you what is in the cell. So item 1 refers to the following diagram, which represents an animal cell. Now, the cell is nicely drawn with what appears to be the mitochondria, and just over the nucleus there is this rough looking thing. I think we call it the rough ER or the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and it is labeled with an X. Now, your question is asking the structure label X is involved in A, the storage of fat, B, the production of protein, C, breaking down substances, and D, packaging substances for transport out of the cell. Might I say that the biology student might find this a little challenging because the endoplasmic reticulum is not on the biology syllabus to be covered. However, it is on the HSB, the endoplasmic reticulum, and the ribosome. It is on the HSB syllabus. So the HSB kids should be having a ball with this question. So I repeat, they are asking about the endoplasmic reticulum. I've identified for you. So what is the endoplasmic reticulum used for? Is it for storage of fat? Is it for production of proteins? Is it for breaking down substances? And D, packaging substances for transport out of the cell. What is your answer? A, B, C, or D? Type it in the chat. Type 1C as your answers might delay. So have we answered that question as yet? All right, so if you don't know for 1, don't waste the time, still submit an answer. 1, you could put, what would you put? DK, don't know, or something to that. Find yourself a code that we can follow. So here we go again. I'm going to be asking you another question. I'm not too sure if this is the internet, but persons have not responded to that. So I move on into another question. Question number 2, an example of diffusion is the movement of sodium across the cell membrane, oxygen from the alveoli to the capillaries, glucose from the digestive tract to the villi, sucrose from phloem tubes to companion cell. What is your answer? A, B, C, or D? Type it in the chat. Just put the number 2 beside your response so we can follow. They are close. Okay. So what's close? What's close? Okay. Tanisha, B or D? So Tanisha, you didn't put one. You should put one BRD, so I know which are the question you're answering. So question number one, you're saying that they're close. We have 2 minutes to go. You're saying BRD, packaging of substance for transport out of the cell. Or they are close. Okay. Let me see for question number two. I'll give you the answer in a bit. So in question number two, Treasure is saying that it is B for question number two. And let me see if there are any other response there. Endoplasmic reticulum transports substances throughout the cell. Endoplasmic reticulum transports substances throughout the cell. And what about the ribosome? All right, so let me tell you again. It is pointing at what seems to be the endoplasmic reticulum or the ribosome. Uh, Package substance for transport out of the cell. And B, the production of protein. All right, I went with the production of protein as is a thing for the ribosomes. And the ribosomes is really the big thing, I think, on your syllabus. I went to the production of protein. All right, but of course, we can agree to differ. You would have to see the 2016 paper. We argue over it. Of course, I will send you the paper tonight and we can revisit it. All right, so two, of course, is going to be B for transport out of the cell, and two, the one with the phloem. No, it's not going to be the one with the phloem because the phloem has to do with sugar. It's going to always be Newman, yes, sir. What is yes, sir? I don't understand. Yes, synthesize and make is pretty much the same thing for protein. All right, so where it says synthesize protein, question number one, the production of protein and synthesize is pretty much the same thing. But I like the answer. I like the responses here. I really like them. And I really wanted to come over here and do the paper with you guys. Good. Sir, are you a teacher? Yes, I am a teacher and I do teach the sciences. It's a strange question. Yes, I am a teacher. All right, so we are 1 minute over the time. So we're going to be moving back into the lesson that we were doing. Some good attempt there, and there are some persons. I like the fact that there were persons who were able to identify some of the things that, okay, I teach biology, agriculture, human and social biology, environmental science. I have only taught chemistry one time in my life, and that's going to be quite some time. I am not an English guru. No, I'm not. English? No. I'm not the English guy. Sorry. All right. So it's science. Once you come here and I just zero it to the only thing I teach here is bio and HSB, nothing else. All right. So we can move right along. All right. So we're back with tar. What we want to find out here, is, of course, tar. What impact does tar have on the respiratory system? The tar from the cigarette. What is it that we need to know about the tar? What you want to share with me? Ariel Newman. You're new? No, I've seen Newman before. Tar, tell me about tar. It blocks the cells. It can block the cells, the lungs. I want everybody to respond, It's just that the icon, I think the blue A icon just pops. Tar causes lung cancer. Is there anything else we need to know? What about the effect of tar on the ciliated cells? Is there anything on that you want to share with me? Okay, let me see what's happening there. Tar is a toxic residue that causes paralysis of the cell. It forms a sticky layer on the inside of the lungs. All right, so the tar is going to be damaging the ciliated cells. When it damages the ciliated cell, what tends to happen is that there's a buildup of mucus in that area. Now, in order to get rid of the mucus, you would find that the person who is smoking, they would continue to cough, and they will have this attempt to continue to clear the throat. And they're trying to clear the throat because it's a pretty uncomfortable feeling when they have the tar with the damaged ciliated cells. The ears all stick together. They're all stick together, and they are not flicking as they should to remove foreign matter. So, of course, that is very, very dangerous to the person smoking. And it, of course, it causes, I said earlier, increased mucus and coughing. Persons who know persons who are smoking marijuana, you can attest to the fact that they are always coughing. All right? Cough causes a restriction of movement. All right, so it can cause emphysema. All right, yes, we're going right over to emphysema in a short while, and yelling of the teeth. Yes, beautiful. All right, so all those are effects of cigarette smoking, and we're looking at nicotine, tar, and now we're going to be looking at carbon monoxide. So carbon monoxide, what's the effect on the body? What effect it has? Carbon monoxide. So we spoke about carbon monoxide when we looked at pollution. And one of the things we said about carbon monoxide, when we talk about carbon monoxide, it's actually CO for those persons who are doing chemistry. So carbon monoxide is able to affix itself readily to hemoglobin. When it affixes it, okay, once you start answering, I want to follow. It bonds to hemoglobin readily. And when it bonds to hemoglobin, what it does is to actually reduce the amount of oxygen that can be transported. Now, remember that when it bonds to the hemoglobin, then what is naturally going to happen with the reduction of oxygen, then the rate of photosynthesis will also reduce. Now, once the rate of photosynthesis reduces, what is going to happen is that did I say photosynthesis? Sorry, once the rate of respiration, once the rate of respiration would have reduced, what is going to happen is that the person is going to always feel tired, and they're not willing to do just about everything. They want to sleep, they can't do anything, they find a good reason to complain about just about everything once they are smoking. So let me look at what is happening here. It makes a red blood cell not be able to carry enough oxygen. Carbon monoxide poisoning typically occurs from breathing in, and we have been talking about that when we talk about pollution. Carbon dioxide is formed when tobacco is not completely burned. Completely burned. All right. Shakila Lewis, carbon monoxide is a poisonous gas. It is also odorless, colorless, and of course tasteless. And that is why it tends to poison persons from time to time. Carbon monoxide prevent oxygen uptake. All right, a lot of things said there about carbon monoxide. It reduces the amount of oxygen that is carried by the red blood cell. And of course, persons who are suffering from this type of a condition, they would not be able to carry out physical and strenuous activities readily. Or as a result, of the reduced oxygen to carry out that process of respiration. There's also this part that we need to talk about. What is the effect of this carbon monoxide on a woman that is pregnant? What's the effect of the carbon monoxide on a woman that is pregnant? All right, that is something that for you to know for the exam. What is the effect of carbon monoxide on a woman that is pregnant? It could lead to stillbirth. It could also lead to a poorly developed child. Very good. And all this is as a result of the reduced oxygen that is in the blood. Sir, it reduces oxygen that is passed to the baby, and as a result, what will happen? It could also lead to deformities. Beautiful. I think everybody is reading, and I think I like that. I mean, that is what this class is about. You get yourself prepared for class. You're here, and we can have a discourse on critical issues around the subjects. Beautiful. So it's very important that wherever or whenever you see the question about cigarette smoking and, of course, uh, the birth of a child, you can quickly say, of course, the carbon monoxide will cause that. So, of course, the question will be around cigarette smoking, but of course, you would have known that it is a carbon monoxide that we are actually looking at. So, neurological damage, stillbirth, delivering a dead baby, can cause fetal death. Right. So all those are good answers to what it will do. So we are going to be moving on and we're going to be looking at some of the effects. Some of the effects that we're going to be looking at, we're going to be looking at chronic bronchitis, we're going to look at emphysema, and we're going to be looking at cancer. So now we move the class a little, shifting a little different direction, and we're going to be looking at chronic bronchitis. Now, being a cigarette smoker, you could find yourself suffering from chronic bronchitis. Now, what are some of the signs or symptoms of chronic bronchitis? Before you get to that, let me just repeat what are signs versus what are symptoms. Now, signs are those things that you can see or detect. I like to say see or detect because you could use a thermometer to determine if I'm having a fever. And of course, you could look at me to say whether or not I'm having a rash or probably I'm having a cough, right? So signs are those things that you can see or detect, while symptoms are those that the patient must communicate to you. An example of some symptoms would be I'm having a headache, I'm feeling nauseous, that type of thing. Those are two good examples of symptoms. All right. So we're looking now at the, of course, signs and symptom of bronchitis. Plenty mucus, coughing. Can it cause cancer? All right, we're going right down there. Remember that cancer is really malignant growth of cell. So once you damage any part of the body, any cell, and you continue to do it, it is likely that you can or will, not will, in most cases it can, be exposed to cancer cells, which are like more like mutated cells. All right, you could have chest pain. All right, so for chronic bronchitis, the bronchi and the bronchioles, they will become irritated. There will, of course, be buildup of mucus, which will, of course, obstruct the pathway of air to and from the lungs. And of course, it will cause difficulty in breathing. It is important to note that chronic bronchitis is also called COPD. What is COPD? Type in the chat COPD. when we refer to a disease, a respiratory illness as COPD, what does that mean? Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So if it is chronic and it is obstructive, it means that it is all right. Very good. So our learners are doing wonderfully well. Now, having looked at bronchitis, which is one of those diseases that is, of course, covered on your syllabus that we're going to be looking at a little closer when we get to disease. Now we want to look at emphysema. Emphysema. So let us look at that one. Tell me what are some of the signs and symptoms of emphysema. We are doing well so far. If you are watching on the net and you want to join, you need to have yourself a YouTube account. If you are with us today and you are chatting with us, we would be very grateful if you subscribe to the channel if what you have found is something that you like, right? If you don't like it, it makes no sense for you to subscribe. We offer we offer many videos to include animations, to include lecture session, and we also offer some tech skills, some IT lesson every now and then. So we're looking at some responses from our students here. So we're seeing that Amoy Lawrence is saying chronic. Okay, she's answering to that. So we're now looking at Ransom, which is answering for emphysema, and he's saying obstructed airway. All right, so the answers are coming in a little slow, but they are coming in. These are persons who want to learn. I probably have in the room today 20 of the Caribbean brightest students who really want to score that one in biology. They are persons who really want to learn and they are putting in that extra to ensure that they learn. They are not stopping to complain that COVID would have caused them not to be engaged in classes. Instead, they are finding a way. All right, so let us see what is happening here. Emphysema is a lung cancer that causes shortness of breath. That is like a summary. All right, so here we go again. So emphysema, amen. So emphysema is, of course, one of those diseases. It's a COPD, and it causes the wall of the alveoli to lose their elasticity. And in losing the elasticity, it also causes some of these alveoli to become damaged. When they become damaged, what essentially happens is that the surface area of the alveoli is reduced. Now, you will remember that a common thing for any respiratory surface is for it to have a large surface area. So if we're having the alveoli being damaged because of loss of elasticity, then you'd understand that, of course, the surface area is being reduced. Now, if the surface area is being reduced, it means that gaseous exchange will not take place as fast as it should. Now, another thing is that it will reduce the amount of, with emphysema, when we lose that elasticity, it reduces the amount of air that is exhaled. So what you have is that at all time, there will be air trapped in the lungs that should have been exhaled. Now, the troubling part of emphysema is that it will cause the bronchiole to collapse. And when they collapse, you are going to have difficulty breathing, and it goes without saying it could lead to death. You are going to have shortness of breath, especially with physical activity, and you're going to have tightening of your chest, as persons would put it on the road, a cough that produces a lot of mucus. Yes, and of course, the airways making exhalation even harder. So exhalation is going to be very hard because of the collapse and the, of course, alveoli that would have lost its elasticity. You're doing well so far. We're going to be moving on to cancer. So cancer is something that you could easily get from cigarette smoking, and the cancer will always affect your respiratory pathway. And the respiratory pathway here being the mouth, the throat, the esophagus, and of course, the lungs. All right? So that takes us to all that we need to know for respiration and breathing for both biology and HSB. We were supposed to have looked at transport in plants today. I thought that it would have been too much of a big topic for me to cover in the class. The other thing I had planned was to look at parts of the human and social biology paper. All right, so how are you doing? Is there anything you want to ask or share before we get into the other phase? We're going to be doing probably about another 10 or 20 minutes of past paper for human and social biology. I was hoping that I'll be seeing persons here today that will be doing the exam come Friday. Now, I do hope that by now everybody in the room would be aware that the exam comes up in 2 months' time. The exams, I think, begin based on what I saw, and I could look at my schedule here. For biology, you'll be having exam May. Let me just look at that and share it with you now. For the bio and HSB students, some persons might not have had the opportunity to look at the timetable as yet. I do have a copy of the timetable on my desktop. So I'll just share with you what date will be your exam. And for most cases, I'm going to be looking, at bio and HSB. So CXC exam timetable. And we are looking at June 2021. And then I'm going to come back. Let me see who I'm going to talk to. Somebody had asked a question early. If I'm a teacher, and I'm going to be asking that person some questions. Of course, it can only empower us. I tend to ask real hard questions, and I encourage my students at all time to ask questions that are somewhat similar. Ask what you need to ask. Don't be afraid. So I'm going through the timetable as we speak, and I am looking for, I think we might have persons here doing agriculture. So agriculture is going to be Wednesday, May 5th. And let me move on down. Somebody had asked about English, that is going to be Friday, May 7th. And let me go on down. There's also agriculture paper 3, May 13th. And we move down. We're looking for biology. Somebody had asked about chemistry. Chemistry is going to be Wednesday, May 19th. And human and social biology paper 2 will be on the same day, that is Wednesday, May 19th. So persons who are doing human and social biology, your exam comes up in May, and I do hope that you're practicing these past papers. And of course, I want some feedback in the comments. Remember, at all time, you can respectfully say what you have to say. Now, coming up on May 17, the paper 2 for biology will be May 17. I think it's an evening exam. I'm not too sure if it's morning or evening, but I am sure that it is 2 hours and 30 minutes. And it comes up on May 17. That's for biology, while HSB is on the 19th. Just let me look to see if I can find the paper 1, the multiple choice. I really want you guys to look at those persons who are doing HSB. I want you to look at the 2016 paper, because the 2016 paper tend to be that paper that has a whole lot of new questions on it and very few repeated questions. So on the 31st of May, which is a Monday, you are going to be having your HSB paper 1. And then on the 1st of June, you are going to be having your bio paper 1. So you are now able to plan, strategize, and of course, say how you are going to be passing the exams. I did ask earlier for the 2018 HSB paper. I would have already posted 2015, 2017, 2019, 2020. I said earlier for those persons who weren't here that we are going to be sending out 2016 tonight, and we're going to be doing it over because we tried 5 times since 5 o'clock this morning to record that video, but for some reason the voice is not being attached to the video, and as such we are hell-bent that we're going to be sending it out. So we're just going to be sending it out with the questions, with the answers circle, and of course a music in the background. So you can look at it, and remember, in the comment at all time you can of course place your concerns. Now let me see, what does that mean? What's scary? Ransom, what's scary? Right, okay. Or repeat the date for HSB so we don't get on one day. All right, don't know. All right, all right, come. Somebody want the date. All right, 2016 paper 2, please. All right, you know, I was working on 2020. That's the one I started working on, and I left it along the way. I definitely try to visit that. CXC is scary. No, it's not scary. What you need to do is just to prepare, and everybody in this room is preparing. You'll find that a whole lot of persons here, they are just cut to the chase and getting the thing done. And that's why we have been having these power session. And that is why we're saying that we don't have much time to pretty much have breaks. When we have the session, we want to go full on, head on, to ensure that we get as much as possible out of the sessions. So somebody's asking me to repeat the date. So I'll repeat the date and you can write them down for me. So on Tuesday, June 1st, you are going to have your biology paper 1. It is 1 hour and 15 minutes. And on Monday, May 31st, you're going to be having your human and social biology paper 1. And then May 17th and 19th, let me see if I remember well. May 17th, you're going to be having your biology paper 2. And May 19th, which is a Wednesday, you are going to be having your HSB paper 2. Now, might I remind us, for those persons who are doing, even if you are doing alternative to practical, let me remind you that we have the 8 labs, which are in the back of the biology syllabus. They are on my channel. You can just go to the channel and select the playlist that says Biology Experiment, and you will see the playlist there. For those persons who still don't know how to write up a lab, you can go to my channel, and I think the lab is right, how to write a biology lab report, or how to write a lab report, or something. It has to do with experiment. I think it's a video that has some 1,000 something views. All right. And we also have the skills over there. So you can go on over there and watch the skills, as in ORR, MM. I think the ORR will come with AI. And we have not yet done planning and design, but we're going to be doing that soon. I encourage us to start studying. Go through those past paper. Don't take my word for it. Use your textbook to support. Follow what you have learned. And if there's something that you need to dispute it. Send it in the comment. I am not a teacher who think I know everything. I am not that person. The students will tell you here, right? It doesn't matter what I know. I sometimes will just keep it quiet and listen to what you know. All right? So feel free to do that. Let me see what's happening here now. We just have to prepare. All right, preparing is just to keep reading, keep reading, keep reading, keep reading, keep practicing. I said to some students, or those persons who are joining me for the first time, I have a 500 pack rule, and the 500 pack rule is just to get yourself a 500 pack of paper. And as you study, you jot down the salient points. But you have to study and ensure that you understand what is on the syllabus. You have to study and ensure that you understand how the exam paper is written. Now, there are some things that we should not be doing, and I'm going to be putting out a video on things to do and things not to do. Now, during this time, you want to reduce your social media time. Because social, I don't even listen news. You know why? My brain space can't manage so much problem, right? My phone, I really don't travel with the phone. The phone stay home, and when I get home, I will look at what is there if I have the time to look at it. I don't really follow the phone stuff. All right. Another thing you don't want to do, you don't want to start comparing yourself with others. So you are going to be calling Tanisha, what book are you using? And Tanisha say, well, I am using that book. And then you run on over to buy that book that Tanisha has. Continue to use the textbook that you have. Don't try to find out where on the syllabus Newman is, right? Because Newman might say that I'm at the back of the syllabus, but she never do the front. And then you run on over to the back of the syllabus, and when you get to the back of the syllabus, you start panicking, you start crying, and then you just can't turn up for the exam because you're afraid. You think that everybody is doing better than you when you are actually doing pretty much the best. So what we need to do, we want to ensure that we make use of all the resources that are available. We want to ensure that we read. We want to ensure that we have our study timetable and we are going to stick to it, pretty much like bread and butter. The thing about it, if you are preparing for exams, you want to ensure that you have less sleep time. A lot of persons will tell you that you must sleep more. We need so much sleep time and no more. I said to some students today, my thing is that I go to bed by 10 at night and I'm up by 4. So go to bed at 10. I might go to bed at 7, but I don't want to be up after 10 o'clock and I want to be up by 4. When I get up at 4, I do a lot of things. I might just read something. I might listen to the international news. I might say, okay, I'm going to do something that I can share with somebody on the internet and I might post a video, that type of a thing. But for you, you want to ensure that you are fixed. CXC is saying that, listen to me, the exams are going to be what they're going to be, and you are going to be what you are going to be. So you want to go to that exam. You don't want to start panicking. Just tell yourself you're going to get it over. One thing that we need to remember about exams is that exams, everybody confused. Tell me about what's confusing, and let me see if I can help you. Because from time to time, I get these documents and I have to go through them. Sir, do you think? I don't know what is that, D'Souza. D'Souza, I don't know what is that thing you're talking about. What is it? Ginkgo? Below, I don't know what is that. Sorry. Tanisha, hmm? Everybody confused. Shame head. Newman, why are you shaking your head? What's that mean? Waking up in the morning is a challenge. All right, waking up in the morning is a challenge. Waking up in the morning starts from going to bed or from the evening before. Probably you need to look at what time you're going to bed, and then you start practice getting up in the morning. All right. You can sometimes hold yourself accountable. You can find this education program that you have to watch at this point of the day, and you can start saying, oh, but at 7 o'clock I should have watched that. Not that you're supposed to be too hard on yourself, but of course have a reasonable time that you can get up. I'm not saying that you should get up at 4 o'clock like me or go to your bed at 10 o'clock like me. Different strokes for different folks. Amoy, when I have an exam, I start taking, what is that? Few weeks to advance, in advance. What is this ginkgo stuff? What it is, Amoy? I don't know what it is. I'm very sorry. I don't know what it is. or you have work to finish. Or it is a vitamin. It is the same thing that they call yeast vite. Or you don't have problem waking up. Your problem is getting up. Probably you need to find yourself asleep in a pajama type of stuff that if it is too cold, you still can get up. It's come right back down to self-discipline. Guys, if you can be here with Mr. Wilson every Wednesday, every Friday, Sunday when you should be finding something else to do, and you can be here with me, I am sure that you can solve any one of the problems that you are having. All of those problems can be solved. Because I really don't want persons to come back next year and tell me that I didn't make it because this, or I didn't make it because that. Or some supplement. Oh, there are supplement. Okay. Well, the truth is, when I was going to college, they said that yeast bite was this good thing to study, and I got myself a bottle, and I took those yeast bites, and they did nothing for me. Nothing. My first year at college, if I can share with you, my first year at college, my first term at college, I was a bookworm, and it was the lowest GPA I've ever had. The second term, I was a part of politics. I was a part of sports. I was doing just about everything. And my GPA was climbing. So sometimes you have to give yourself a little break. You have to have some fun and study in between. All right. And now with the technology where you can just have your earphone on and you're listening to a lesson. You're listening to a lesson, but you're still having some fun. So that too can help. You can listen to something while you're cleaning. You can listen to something while you're cooking. You can listen to something while you're practicing. I know you can listen to bio while you're practicing some other subject, because you can just click on one of the playlists and it is playing, and you have this passive listening, but you are, of course, getting something, bits and pieces. Like I think they call it binge listening or something like that. You can just get it bits and pieces as you go along. All right. A supplement most elderly people take if it is for a memory problem. Listen to me, man. Don't have a memory problem. All that you guys need is just to get yourself some water, your regular food, your rest, and stop fret. Don't try to find anything ransom. Don't try to find any memory stuff. There's nothing that you're going to take that will allow you to remember everything. Because if that were so, what would have happened is that everybody would get a 1 for all the subjects, because we would have all known that this is the thing that is going to cause you to remember everything. And then there wouldn't be any God thereafter. We wouldn't believe in God thereafter, because man would have made something that can that would allow you to remember everything. So you'd go and buy that stuff, you'd read the book one day, and then you'd throw away the book or sell the book, because everything is in your head. So there is no supplement that you are going to take, and having taken that supplement, you are going to remember everything. So don't try to find it. Let me see what is that here. So it seems like it is to teeth. I don't understand what Macmillan is saying. If I don't understand, just explain and make it simpler for me. I am sort of old. All right, no play, Jacks Tanisha, dumb boy. All right, cool. I agree with that, Tanisha. You have to, of course, have some fun. You have to have fun. I tell my son that going to school, 80% is fine. I'm not interested to see a paper with 90. I'm not interested to see a paper with 100, because 20% is his childhood. And 80% is the pressure that the world will put on him. And I'm not going to be taking away his childhood from him to put the world's pressure on him. So 20% of the time is your time. And the rest, the 80%, once you have that. The truth is, I've never seen him. I can't remember seeing him with an 80% average. I've seen him with 79 all the time. And when I see him with a 79, all I said to him, what's happening? And we have a discussion around it. Because the truth is, I expect him to just do his best, and the rest will fall in place. All right. And for you guys, just relax yourself and do your best. For me, everybody study different, and don't bother go and watch a video that tell you how to study, and I've been watching the video, then you're going to start. But I know some may do it. That's not the way I'm doing it. I'm doing it wrong. Listen to me. I can have an exam tonight, have this class with you and know I have 2 or 3 hours for the exam, and I can go and find a video and watch it and shut the exam and come out of the exam and good. I don't go to exams early. And other persons will tell you that I'm up there at the exam and sit down. Me the last man I go into the exam room. And when I go to an exam, I only sit at the front. So I go right to the front when I go to the exam room if the decks are not labeled. And once I go in, I usually go in late, I start writing. And when I'm finished writing, once I stop writing, I'm coming out. It means that I don't know anything else, right? So you have to find what works for you. And of course, make sure that you do that. Don't try to do anybody else, just do yourself. All right? I have a maths test to do. So go practice your maths test. Sir, like my sister and I have way different ways of studying. There we go. Everybody will have different ways of studying. And some persons don't want to study any at all. Yeah, I would never see them studying any at all. They go to all the parties when you're at college. They go to everywhere. They're always out partying. And when you go to exam, you're seeing them in the exam and you're not seeing them cheating. And their grades are usually very good. So people are different. And of course, you are supposed to find your niche. I am going to say to you, don't go and buy anything but you're going to boost the memory or nothing. Your memory is pretty all right. Your memory is pretty all right. Once you can remember that you have a class on a Wednesday, a Friday, and a Sunday, it means that your brain is working well. So now all you need to do is practice, practice. And for the greater part, most of you guys are doing very, very well. Most persons here are doing very, very well. Most persons. I am pretty, pretty impressed with a lot of persons. All right. So let me see what's here. Have a balance. All right, good. So something you're just going to remember, some things you're going to forget. The exam is not the end of your life. And trust me, if you made it here, if you found this channel, it means that you have an interest to pass. It means that you're going to do well because I expect you to. What I like about students, I am one of those persons, even as an adult, I am not gullible. I don't take everything that is tossed at me. So I expect you to be the same thing. And I usually say to my students, I know when you're a one student, because when you're a one student, you taught the content, right? And if I say something, you can tell me which page in the book it is. Even if you don't remember, you can say, hold on, sir, and you know which direction of the book you must skip it. There are times when you're teaching students and they don't know whether they must go back of the book or the front of the book. They just don't know. All right? So you are reading, we're putting on pressure. Let me see now. The bio students, you are supposed to be doing transporting plants. That's your next topic. We're hoping that we would have been able to start skeletal system Sunday. But we're just going to try to wrap up on transporting plants, where we're going to be looking at the xylem and the phloem vessel. Just let me just wrap up with the xylem and phloem vessel here. We're not going to go to the past paper. I'm just going to upload the past paper that I have for those persons who need to see it. If you don't need to see it, just tell me, so make that stay until we can fix it. I'm going to fix it and upload it. So let me talk very quickly about the xylem and phloem vessel. Me, sir, I do in bio. All right. So I want to talk quickly about the xylem and the phloem vessel before we leave here. And they are two very, very important vessels in a plant. The xylem vessel, you will recall, it is dead, right? For those of us who know what a bamboo look like, a bamboo has this part inside of it that you can, it's like the joint, and you can use something and hit it out, right? And if you do that, it becomes this other thing that you can look from one side to the other. Now, the xylem vessels are pretty much like that, but they are very, very fine. So one of the things that we need to know about the xylem vessel, it is a xylem vessel that is carrying water and the mineral salts from the root. It is also the xylem vessels are dead. They are dead, and of course, they are highly lignified, which means that they are tough. So they help to keep the plants upright, or help to keep plants upright. On the other hand, phloem vessels are alive, and they have what is called sieve tube inside of them. Now, the beautiful thing about the phloem vessel is that the phloem vessel has to its side what is called a companion cell. Now, the phloem does not have a nucleus for itself. However, the companion cell has a nucleus. Now, the phloem vessel is responsible for carrying that food that is made in the photosynthesizing part of the plant to other parts of the plant. So we said that the phloem is alive, the xylem is dead. The xylem is carrying water and minerals from the root, while the phloem is carrying food manufactured in the leaf. The phloem has a companion cell, while the xylem does not. The phloem has sieve tube, the phloem does, the xylem does not. All right, so you want to look at these two vessels for the class come Sunday, xylem and phloem. They are very, very important in talking about transport in plant. Then we want to also look at transpiration. Transpiration is a nice thing to talk about, as we're going to be talking about the factors which impact or influences the rate of transpiration. Now, the rate of transpiration, when I'm teaching, I like to say to my students, the rate of transpiration is impacted or influences by the same conditions that will determine how quickly your clothes will dry on the line. And some of the things that will determine how quickly your clothes dry on the line are, tell me in the chat, what are some of the things that will determine how quickly your clothes dry on the line? After you wash and you pin the clothes all out on your line, we're all from the Caribbean, so it's pretty hot and sunny. What are some of the things that will determine how quickly the clothes dry on the line? All right, so the temperature, that is going to determine the wind speed, or the wind, that is also going to help to determine how quickly the clothes will dry on the line. The amount of water vapor in the air, is it an overcast day? Don't go weather. Weather is too wide. Don't go weather. Weather is too wide. So you're going to talk about light intensity. We talk now about I think you're talking about the temperature and the sun. All right. So we're going to be talking about wind speed. We're going to be talking about the temperature of the day. We're going to be talking about humidity. That is the amount of water vapor in the air. Those are things that impact photos that impact, sorry, respiration. Now, another thing that we want to talk about that will not really significantly impact the rate at which your clothes dry on the line is, of course, light intensity, because light intensity will, of course, light intensity will, of course, be linked closely to how the stomata works, as will water. All right. So now that we have just looked at respiration, what we tend to call photorespiration, now that we have looked at respiration and photosynthesis, when we talk about transpiration, then transpiration should come to life, because you pretty much have that background knowledge that should help you to understand clearly what is happening with transpiration. Then there's another thing that we're going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at how plants conserve water. I know plants conserve water. There are many ways. Sir, say, say humidity that the same time is trying, is typing it. Oh, sorry, say humidity at the same time that I was typing it. I hate when that happens. All right, that's fine. Hate when what happens? Lol. Okay, that's fine. Sorry, say humidity at the same time I was typing it. That's fine. Sometimes it's very slow, and I really don't want to have this big blank space in the video, so I might start saying something before you type it. But if I said it and you were typing it, that's fine. Just keep typing and post just the same. So we're going to be looking at ways in which plants conserve water. And it's a whole lot of ways. I'm telling you, it's a whole lot of ways. I think the first one will come to most persons is that the plant will cause its leaf to be reduced into what we call spines, or some person might say maca. And then when you think about plants like the oleander, it is going to have its pores deep into the leaf, right? So there are many ways. And then we're going to be talking, I like to talk a little bit about the alophyte, the alophyte, the xerophyte, and all of that. I'll be punching some of those into the lesson when we get there. So for Sunday, we're definitely going to be talking about, we're going to be finishing transport in plant. And if we finish within the 2 hour, we are going to slide right on over to where do we HSB, where do you go after that? Do you go to excretion or do you go to the skeletal system? Free Martin. Oh, you are doing it on Friday. So if you are doing it on Friday, Free, uh, Fran, I think it's Francine probably. Fran, if you're doing it on Friday, then as soon as I'm finished here, I'm going to be putting up my response the to the 2016 paper. Like I have said, the 2016 paper is one of those paper that have a whole lot of new questions on it. Based on what we saw with the 2020 paper, it was at it was pretty much close to the 2015. So we are thinking that the 2021 paper might be very close to 2016. So we had advised our student to no 5-year past paper, but ensure that you look at what is on 2020 and what is on, of course, 2016. And for that reason, we're going to be putting up the 2016 tonight without the explanation, but we're going to be going through that paper again. Now, when you get the paper, if your views are not the same, like I like to say respectfully, leave your suggestion, leave your guiding thoughts in the comment that we can revisit it. We are always happy to revisit whatever students write. This is a community. YouTube said it should be a community. So I should know you. You should know me. You call me Mr. Wilson. I call it by name. I will come and I say, Ransom is not here. What's happening? And I will say, Macmillan from St. Vincent. And I call out your name like that. Right? I know where everybody is. I don't know what has happened. Jawawan, you came back or you're not here? Jawawan was here earlier. She's from Trinidad. And of course, we had some problem. Okay, so that's going to be it for the show today. It was a wonderful show. We had a lot of time to talk about a lot of things. We spoke about some study tips. We spoke about cigarette smoking. We spoke about, you should be telling me what we talk about. We spoke about gaseous exchange, a photorespiration process. We spoke about that, and that's a big process for those persons who are going to be studying bio beyond this. We spoke a little bit about transpiration, a little bit about the xylem and phloem vessel, and of course, we are pretty sure what we're going to be doing on Sunday. And when we're finished on Sunday, I'd ask you, I don't remember from my head, and that I'll say sometime, I don't remember from my head whether for HSB you're going to be going to the skeletal system after circulation, or are you going to be going to excretion? I'm going to be looking at the syllabus. If it means that we're going to be going to excretion, we're going to be going to excretion. If we're going to be going to the skeletal system, but whichever one is good, all is well. Excretion is a very short topic, so it doesn't really matter. All right, so that's going to be it for today. Now, I'm going to be uploading the video. I did upload something this morning on enzymes. You probably want to watch the 2 videos on enzyme. And remember that I'd asked that, yes, it is skeletal. Remember that I did ask that there will always be a video each week. And I'm going to be asking you guys to go and watch them. The persons who are doing biology, doing HSB, please go on over to the channel and click Biology Experiment and make sure you watch the food tests and watch the photosynthesis experiment. Those are sometime on your paper for HSB. I think those are the big ones on your paper. So I'm going to go on over. I'm going to try to upload the paper tonight so that the persons who are doing HSB, you can have the paper before Friday as we continue to work as a family to make things work. So I'm going to be seeing you on Sunday evening at 5:05. Again, I will be out of town, so I'll be traveling from a different parish to come back into Kingston to start the show. If I'm a little late, like we did Sunday, just bear with me. I'll be here and your 2 hour will be guaranteed. I'll do as much as possible to ensure that that happens. We're going to continue to work on the past paper. Amoy is shouting out for 2016. I don't know that we can give them the 2016 before Friday because of the workload that I have, but we're going to be doing all that we can do to ensure that you get it. So, oh, Friday. Yes, Friday is the show. I thought that today was Friday. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry, guys. The show is on Friday. So we have show Friday. Today's Wednesday, guys. So, oh, I didn't even remember. I didn't even remember about Friday. What is happening? Because I think I have my next thumbnail for Sunday. Yeah, we have a show on Friday. So on Friday, we're going to be looking at the transport thing here. And then Sunday, oh my, I fold up. I'm getting old. I'm very sorry, guys. You see, I like students who are on the beat. You can remember and ask. Just ask about everything, anything. That's good. Just don't be rude. Once you're not rude, I'm fine. All right. So remember, if you have a 2018 HSB multiple choice paper, send it on. Remember to put my advertisement on my channel, put it on your WhatsApp status, and share it so that everybody in your contact see it, that the family here can get very, very big. We really want to grow. We want to continue to serve you. We want to know that anytime you come on, we can say that we're here. I'm not have to tell us, boy, you know, some broke me up to do a hustling, or that type of thing. Because remember, we are not paid, you know. Unless we become monetized, we're not paid. So we do this thing for free, and we continue to work night upon night to ensure that you see us. Group chats. Yes, man, put the ads everywhere, anywhere, all over the place. I mean, send in those subscribers, send in those viewers, and of course, if there's a video that you need to see that we need to do, let us know, right? From time to time, I sit and I build videos and I try to make them a little friendlier than those we were doing earlier. If you look at the enzyme video, you'll realize that it is pretty much a birth of a new thing. I've been doing some short courses and making sure that things become a little better. I still don't have an editor. I wish I had an editor, but that will come in time. All right, and we are very grateful. Yes, my pledge. I like that. All right, thank you very much. And I will be on the road with my town cry, trying to reach as many students as possible, so that we can share what we have. It's no secret. I told I was in my master's class and I was saying to them, my dream for 2021 is to take my classroom to the road. I want to be critiqued by every and anyone. How I teach in my classroom is no secret, so I'm not hiding it. Anybody in the world must be able to see what I do. All right. So 4 minutes left in the time. If you have anything to say, say it. I wish I knew about you before because I have HSB Friday. I am so not ready. All right, there goes Anai. For those persons who don't know Anai, Anai is up now. I'm going to get Anai. Come, Anai. All right, come. All right. All right. So here goes Anai. Anai. Look, Anai. All right. This is Anai, and Anai usually have this alarm every time I have a live. He thinks that he's a better teacher than I am, so he's usually there. We go. So he thinks that he's a better teacher than I am, so usually he wants to take over the class. Ush, well, Ush. Say hi, say hi. Here they are now. Talk to them, they're hearing you. Say hi. So I was asleep. I'm sorry, guys, I was asleep. I'm a sleeping teacher. All right, so you said something there. There's something, I saw it. Just let me go back up there. I saw it where you were saying that you wish you knew about. You have 1 day to go to the exam. Don't worry, just go there and do your best. I think your best will be good enough. I hope that you would have looked at a couple of past papers. We have 5 year worth of past paper on the channel. If you want, you could look at them now. It means that you just take tonight, and if you are an adult learner, take 3 days off from work and get some sick leave and sit down and just beat some stuff. But you're going to find some of these questions will be repeated. It's a must. So don't worry yourself too much. Just go on over. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I don't even know if I can plot the paper too. I think I will be able to predict the questions for paper one probably come June. I should be able to, because I'm going to be looking at stuff. If I was doing this long ago, I'd put them. I'm very good at Excel. I'd be able to write a formula to figure that out. Trust me, I could. I'm really good at that. All right. So group chats, I'm so grateful. We are Very grateful. Thanks. Good. Yes, we will, and we are very grateful. Wonderful. Uh, yes, it will. All right. It happens like that. We are pretty new. We are pretty new. We are growing like wildfire, though, but we are pretty new. All right. And you are going to make other persons benefit. We continue to do this. I have always been teaching students free, not online. I would just have some free classes on the weekend, on the evening, that type of thing. I think I give my life away and I am a poor man, but I think someday it will pay off. I like to see when students are doing well. I think I have about 3 doctors since I've been teaching. I have a doctor right now in China. I have a practicing doctor that I have taught since grade 9. I have a doctor in a Caribbean island, and I am still a little teacher. I guess one day my change will come. Lol. All right, let me see, sir. Which school you teach? Amoy, the person, my employer probably don't even want me to talk about my school. But if you want to know which school I teach, just follow my channel and you will definitely see everything from my school on my channel. Look at my channel. I do a whole lot of video for for my school and they are on my channel. Go over there and look. And bet you when you come back next time, you can tell me which school I teach. All right. I really, really, really appreciate it, sir. Well, I teach, I work with the government of Jamaica, but I also do private classes for private school. Um, Back when we had students in school, schools are now without students. Other than that, I do this little thing. Don't worry, Fran, you'll be fine. All right, let me see what happens here. So cute. I wonder who is so cute. It's me or Anna? I don't know. Somebody, Anna, is you or is me? Anna, smile for them. Smile for them. You're not smiling. Why? You're not smiling for them? Hmm? You're not showing them a gap? No? All right. Probably someday when we are on some other platform that you can say, show them your gap, man. All right. So you're ready. It's your class time now. You're ready to teach. It's your time. It will be in the name of Jesus. Amen. 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 No. Did you ask what is the baby's name? It's not Annoy. His name is A-H. Where do I type? Let me type it for you. That's his name. His name is Anai Wilson. Nothing, we're just here rapping and chatting and chatting. I think we're over time now. So his name is Anai Wilson. And well, that is what it should be like. And then, while his name is Anai Wilson, and they say that he has a strange name, then this is my name. Thank you. And that is my name. To date in Jamaica, I am the only person on the island with the name after so long. You see, I'm about 500 years old, and nobody else have that name in Jamaica. Nobody. Nobody. What is your name? Darlet is your name? Your chem teacher, what's your chem teacher's name? So, tell me something. Darlet, that is really how your name is spelled, with 3 E's at the end? Oh, she said that she's 500. I don't know. Probably say on the number that we know. We're old. I mean, we have to be listening to you guys. At times when you guys type, you're like over my head with that texting chat. So I think I'm probably this young, or look probably this young or this old, because I'm always around students that are keeping me young. Oh, because I was wondering, I've never seen that. I've seen a lot of names. I have seen the name Andrew, spelled Anju, right? Andrew, Andrew, that name, I've seen it spelled A. And as a teacher, you see a lot of names spelled all sort of ways, all different way. As for me, my name, I don't even know where I got my name from. I just know that it's a pretty unique name, and nobody really believe that that is my name. They think that I am Ricardo. A lot of persons think that I am Ricardo, but I am not Ricardo. I am Ricardos. I thought you was young. You thought I was young? What made you think that? Oh, it's Herod. I realized, sir, I thought you was young. No, I just put it like that. Okay. I hear in pot tonguing. What you all cooking, sir? What we all cooking? Sure, what we cooking up? What we cooking? What we cooking? Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to find out. The chef not telling me. I'm not too sure what we're cooking up. I know in Guyana you would be cooking up some pepper pot. In Jamaica we cook. Okay, you heard that? I heard that steamed fish is being cooked, right? So I'm told that I am not cooking, so I can't say what we are cooking. All right, so yes. All right, what you all cooking up? Okay. Oh, I look young. I don't know my age. I don't know, probably. I live life. What? What? Well, the fish where you're eating fish, you're living life. Tell me. Want some water? Hmm? Or I can't play. I can't play any song. If I play any song, YouTube going to charge me. All right, let me see what's happening there. Lol. No, we don't. Sir, probably young Wills. Oh, sir, pretty. I think I should be pretty young, sir. In 40s. Whoa. Wow. That now old. What? Hope that in looking like 36 for the oldest. I wonder how I look last week when I have an all ear and my face, like, that is the mood I felt then. Uh in looking, okay, not that old. Well, I feel like I am probably a teenager still. I still can run a very far distance. I still can do a lot of things that the younger folks can do. And if you keep yourself active, then you're going to be. I don't know my age, so it makes no sense for you to ask me. I know that I am not a teenager, and that much I know. Lord. Sir, what subject you did in high school? Oh, when I went to high school, I did the sciences, but I was a rude boy. I went to rural school in Jamaica, and of course, we liked playing. We really liked playing, and I don't think I really did all I should have done there, but of course it was enough to get me through. I, of course, did physics, chemistry, bio, history, math, English, agriculture. Those were the subjects I did then. And then after high school, then it was life. And then after life, then I started going to, it's like I was going to all the universities and colleges in Jamaica. You name it, I have been there doing something. Sir, what subject? Okay, sir, why? And wait, knowing I don't know it. All right. Fran, don't know what. Fran, I suggest to you stop. Just go on over to my channel and start watch some videos. Start watch some videos. Look on the digestive system, look on the skeletal system, look on the eye. You know a little bit about pollution. The people are going to spread out like that. If you have a summary book, I do. You have a summary book, Fran? You have a summary book, Fran? Yes, sir. Nobody don't eat fish on Wednesday. Only on weekend people eat fish. Oh my! Where you frightened, Anai? Relax. People don't eat fish on Wednesday. People eat fish on weekend. But why people only eat fish on the weekend? Fran Martin, you're saying why sit and wait knowing I don't know it? Know what? What you tell me what you're talking about? I eat all right to somebody who ate fish last night. Oh, the rule. You see, people have different type of rule. There are some persons who are not going to eat rice and peas and chicken in Jamaica unless it is Sunday, and there are some persons who are not going to drink soup unless it is Saturday. All right, so let me see what is happening there. Fish is life. Well, I don't know. It's just a meat for me. I don't even know if the food people them call it meat because these days everything have some different name. All right, should I say it's just a source of protein? Where you want to go? But where you want to go? Yeah, I don't know. Let me see what's happening here. Because it is better on a weekend. Why is it better on a weekend? I can't see through that. Help me with that. Fish is better on the weekend. Why? Oh wow, fish is better on the weekend. Oh my. You know that starts sound like IPM to me, integrated pest management, where you started talking about cultural method of controlling pests. You know, you can think about the moon, or you can think that. Let me see what's happening here. No, I love chicken better. I mean, can I say you can probably give me a drunk of our chicken? I really love chicken. Right? Other than chicken, it's pork and fish. I really don't enjoy any other meat. All right, so Kimola, you're missing out. All right, Lauren, sir, which college you went? Oh my, I went everywhere. So I'm going to be telling you. All right, so I started out at the University of Technology, and I did not complete at University of Technology because I was low on the chips. So I had to make a informed decision. And then I went to the College of Agriculture, and I completed at the College of Agriculture. And then I went to MICO. And when I went to MICO, I was doing, let me see what's there. Let me chat. I want to answer to everybody. Sir, which college? I agree. Same, sir. You ever went abroad, sir? No, I've never left Jamaica. Never. And I'm going to tell you all that. As the family get bigger, I'll tell you more. So after I left Case, I went to Michael, and then I was doing I left Case with agriculture and education. I was doing biology at Michael. Then I left Michael because I was doing business. I was making money, and I thought that making money was a good thing, and studying could take the back burner. And then I started doing business. It was going on very, very well. And then I went back and I did a degree in environmental science. And then, having done the degree in environmental science, I thought that I wanted to be certified at the levels that I operate. I did another degree in agriculture education, which is pretty much advanced, a whole lot of agriculture and a whole lot of biology. I mean, that degree is like biology, 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 biology. And then after that, I started my master's. And having started my master's again, the chip went down. My business failed because a whole lot of stuff. I found out that a child that was a part of what I thought was a union, I found out that the child was not mine. And then things took a downturn since 2017. And I was hit really badly by it. And I'm just sort of recovering now. And rather than to go all into myself and say, hey, somebody robbed me, somebody did me wrong, I lost all that I had. I mean, all I lost just about everything I had, money, everything. I lost everything, and I'm pretty much still in debt. I mean, a lot of debt, But outside of that, there's always something to share. There's always something to give. So rather than just be self-consumed and say I can't help persons, I continue to extend myself. I have always, right through my life, I've been extending myself. I was a football referee, so I was doing volunteer. I was volunteering as a referee for charity games. I was doing the National Premier League, that type of thing. So I have been out there doing a whole lot of things. Most persons, when they see me, they would say, I have seen it before, I know you. And I usually laugh it down because I know where they would have seen me if they were watching TV back in the days. I would be on the television every Sunday or every time there is one of those top flight schoolboy football game. So pretty much um, that is that's me. That's me. For let me see the other questions that you're asking. Which college? So I told her which college. Same, sir. Um, you ever went abroad? No, I have never traveled because me the thing said Jamaica nice. I'm have enough money, so me can stay at Jamaica. So I have never traveled. But yes, I love to travel now. My views are totally different now. Um, Oh, wow, sir, you have an amazing story. It is too much to talk about. I might just tell you a little bit, but it's too much. Um, Amoy, sound like you should be lecturing at UWIRU Tech. My students often say that I can only do that when I become qualified at the master's level. And to do that, I'd have to have some money to complete my master's. My master's is on hold now. So as soon as I would have completed that, then I will pretty much move on. And my choice field is going to be environmental science. I really like that. I really like the environment. And of course, I'm always going to be giving back. I'm always going to be giving back. I don't know that there is life living without giving. I don't know that. I don't know that there is life living without giving. All right, so let me see what's happening here. Uh, don't worry, sir. God is standing by. Help is on the way. He will come through for you. I do hope and I pray. Thank you much. God will help you, sir. I hope. Thanks. Sir, what religion are you? Oh my, what religion? Oh, that is going to be another long story, right? And I don't know that persons can even understand me when it comes to religion. My views on religion is pretty unique, and oftentimes persons say, let me just read everything before I answer. Oh, for we never asked him that. Oops. Let me see what's there. God will help you choose, sir. What religion are you? That's fine. Amen. What age you started college? I don't even remember that. I have done everything around the world before I started college. I really don't remember. Um, lol. God has a plan for everybody. Keep up the good work, sir. I will. Okay, so back to religion. I don't back off from questions. You know, I answer them the best way I can. Um, Let me see now. I do respect everyone's religion. I do respect everyone's religion. So it doesn't matter, or should I say denomination, because this religion thing is also seems to be a little confusing. But what I have come to realize that in most cases, it doesn't matter which day you're worshiping on, whether it be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I realize that come here, come here, Papa, come here. I realize that everybody is worshiping pretty much the same God, because when it is Easter, I realize that the church doors are all open. When it is Christmas, I realize that the church doors are all open. It is just in the middle of the year that the churches can't get along. What are you eating, Papa? It is just during that time of the year that the churches can't get along. Um, with that said, I have gone to churches, but I am not a avid Christian. If you were supposed to ask me about Christian, I'd tell you based on my nationality, a Jamaican, it makes me a Christian. But as to say that I am a part of a denomination, no, I am not a part. My views are a little different, but like I say, whatever you want to worship, you have my support. Macmillan, no. Okay. A young man told me, one of my students told me one day that I'm a Agnes. I don't know if you've ever heard the term Agnes, right? So I am not what, atheist? No, I'm not. I do believe in a God. I do believe in a God, but of course, the student said, "Sir, you're an Agnes," and I'm like, "If you think Agnes, all right." Just give your colleagues there the meaning for that. I have never heard that term. All right, that is why you come to this class. We're learning. Some persons say Agnes, some persons say Adnis, Adnis, A-D. Uh, I'm seeing so many thing here. All right, so just Google it and you can just write it here as to what it is. That's what they say that I am. I just know that I am Mr. Wilson or I am Ricardus. And of course, whatever is your religion, I am fine. And when I say whatever is a religion, I am not going to tell a man him can't worship a cow. I'm not going to tell a man him can't go to church on Sunday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, whenever. Believe in God, but not religion. So what you believe, sir? What I believe? I believe that you're alive. I'm not too sure if I understand what you believe. Um, Remember, that religions, they pretty much. Let me get him. Carry him for a minute, please. I didn't say that I'm an Agnes, I said that a student said that I am an Agnes. No, I am just me. I mean, I support everyone. And usually, if you don't fall within the line of some persons, they start to tell you what you are from what you are not. Right? I am just Mr. Wilson. I'm just Mr. Wilson. Yeah, just Mr. Wilson. So, organist. Um, I am seeing Ransom, I am seeing your post, but of course YouTube is sort of looking at that. Give me a second. All right, so there you know pretty much almost everything about me. As it were for religion, I am just like a regular person you see around you. I am not an atheist. I am just a regular person, the everyday person that you see around you. That's who I am. So I have no extreme belief in any religion. That's the best way I can put it. All right, yeah. So yeah, religion is a tough topic. So it's one of those stuff that um a lot of persons are strong on. So I don't know. Probably that is why YouTube. I can see what you wrote, but it won't allow me to share with you. Feeling for barbecue. So barbecue might be KFC. I don't know where you get barbecue. Go and do your by your homework now, guys. What's the homework about? What's the homework about? This is the longest I'm going to stay with you. And I have chat so much about you. You have access about everything about me. What is the homework about? It's a past paper question, sir. But yeah, but it must be from a topic. Let me see. Mm, 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 mm. All right, let me see. I am going to be. Anna is now crying that I need daddy, I need daddy, I need daddy. So I haven't spent some time with you. Hmm? What You want to hear some song now? You start dancing. Mm-hmm. 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 All right, let me see. All right, so we are out of time. Oh, okay, good. Okay, sir. Good night, everyone. Mm. What? All right, all right, all right. Bye, bye, guys. See you on Friday.